The night sky hangs heavy, a canvas of darkness soon to be stained crimson. Tonight we delve into the eerie myths surrounding lunar eclipses. Welcome to the curse of the red moon. For centuries, cultures have woven terrifying tales around these celestial events. Stories whispered around campfires, passed down through generations, each one a chilling testament to the unsettling nature of these blood-red moons. These are not mere stories, but echoes of primal fear, warnings etched in our collective memory. Tonight, we shine a light into the darkness, exploring the myths that have haunted humanity for millennia. Our first tale takes us deep into a forgotten village nestled high in the Carpathian Mountains. This village, shrouded in mist and mystery, has a dark history that few dare to speak of. They call it the Blood Moon Curse, a name that sends shivers down the spines of those who hear it. Generations ago, a darkness fell upon this village, coinciding with a blood moon. The once peaceful nights turned into a time of dread and fear. Livestock were found butchered, their bodies drained of blood. The villagers were horrified, unable to explain the gruesome occurrences. Villagers began to disappear, their screams swallowed by the night. The streets, once filled with laughter and life, became desolate and silent. Whispers of a malevolent entity, a creature of pure shadow and rage, began to circulate. Fear gripped the hearts of the villagers as they spoke in hushed tones. They spoke of a being awakened by the blood moon, thriving on terror and despair. This entity, they believed, was the source of their suffering. An old crone declared the village cursed, the blood moon awakening an ancient evil. Her warnings were dire, but many were too frightened to heed them. Every lunar eclipse, the curse would reawaken. The blood moon cycle became a countdown to terror. Families would barricade themselves indoors, their faces pale with terror. They lived in constant fear, dreading the next blood moon. One blood moon, a young woman named Anya vanished without a trace. Her disappearance was the most heartbreaking of all. Her disappearance shattered the village, their last vestiges of hope fading. The loss of Anya was a wound that never healed. Her lover, a blacksmith named Lucian, refused to accept her loss. He was determined to find a way to end the curse and bring peace to the village. He delved into forbidden lore, seeking a way to break the curse. His nights were spent poring over ancient texts, searching for answers. His search led him to the ruins of an ancient monastery. The crumbling walls held secrets long forgotten. There he discovered a ritual to banish the entity and free the village. The ritual was complex and dangerous, but it was their only hope. But the ritual required a sacrifice. Lucian knew the price he would have to pay. As the next blood moon approached, Lucian knew what he had to do. His resolve was unshakable, his love for Anya giving him strength. He climbed the ancient bell tower, ready to offer himself as sacrifice. The village watched in silence, their hearts heavy with sorrow. The blood moon reached its zenith, bathing the village in its eerie light. The air was thick with anticipation and fear. Lucian performed the ancient ritual. His voice echoed through the night as he chanted the incantations. The blood moon began to recede. The entity weakened and vanished. The village held its breath, waiting for the nightmare to end. The village was safe, but at a terrible cost. Lucian was never seen again. His sacrifice was the ultimate act of love and bravery. The village never forgot the sacrifice of the blacksmith, who loved too deeply and dared to defy the curse of the blood moon. His memory lived on, a beacon of hope and courage for future generations. Our journey into lunar terror takes us to the windswept shores of Cornwall, England, a place where the land meets the sea in a dramatic clash of elements. There, perched on a cliff overlooking the vast and tumultuous Atlantic Ocean, stand the haunting ruins of Pendleworth Manor. It is a place steeped in sorrow and mystery, its very stones whispering tales of a long-forgotten tragedy tied to a phantom eclipse that haunts the night. The story begins with a love triangle, a tale as old as time, yet uniquely tragic in its own right. Lord Harrington, a man of wealth and status, his melancholic wife Eleanor, and a dashing young artist named Edward, whose passion for life and art captivated Eleanor's heart. Their affair was a whirlwind of stolen glances, secret love letters, and clandestine rendezvous, hidden from the prying eyes of society. But their love was doomed from the start, a fragile flame flickering in the winds of fate. One fateful night, beneath the eerie glow of a lunar eclipse, their secret was discovered, casting a shadow over their forbidden love. Lord Harrington, consumed by jealousy and rage, confronted the lovers in a fit of uncontrollable fury. A violent struggle ensued, the air thick with the scent of betrayal and the metallic tang of blood. When the sun rose, Lord Harrington lay dead, a knife through his heart, his lifeless eyes staring into the abyss. Eleanor and Edward had vanished without a trace, their fate shrouded in mystery and speculation. Locals whispered that their restless souls remained trapped within the manor's decaying walls, forever bound by their tragic love. During every lunar eclipse, the phantom eclipse would awaken, casting an otherworldly glow over the haunted manor. Eleanor and Edward, spectral and ethereal, would return to the manor, their love and despair palpable in the air. Fishermen claimed to see two ghostly figures embracing on the cliffs, their forms shimmering in the moonlight. Travelers swore they heard the echo of a struggle, a woman's scream piercing the night, sending chills down their spines. Years turned into decades, and the legend of the phantom eclipse grew, becoming a part of local folklore and a chilling tale told around campfires. Pendleworth Manor fell into disrepair, its once grand halls now overgrown and abandoned, a testament to the enduring tragedy. One night, a group of daring youths, driven by curiosity and the thrill of the unknown, decided to spend the night within the manor's eerie ruins. A lunar eclipse was upon them, the perfect backdrop for their ghostly adventure, adding an extra layer of suspense and fear. As the phantom eclipse reached its peak, they gathered in the grand ballroom, the air thick with anticipation and dread. Suddenly the air grew heavy, the temperature plummeting, sending shivers down their spines and filling them with an unexplainable dread. Two figures, shimmering and translucent, materialized before their eyes, their forms both beautiful and terrifying. Eleanor and Edward, locked in an eternal dance of love and despair, their movements graceful yet haunting. The legend of the phantom eclipse serves as a chilling reminder that some loves are best left undisturbed, their stories echoing through time as a warning to all who dare to listen. Our final tale takes us deep into the Bavarian forest, where the line between myth and reality blurs. This ancient woodland, shrouded in mystery and folklore, has been the setting for countless eerie stories passed down through generations. It is here we confront the legend of the shadow of the wolf, a tale that has sent shivers down the spines of many. For centuries, whispers have circulated among the locals, tales of a creature that stalks the forest during lunar eclipses. These stories are often shared in hushed tones around flickering fires, each retelling more chilling than the last. They call it the shadow of the wolf, a werewolf bound to the cycles of the moon. This creature is said to be a harbinger of doom, its presence a sign of impending disaster. The legend speaks of a solitary woodsman named Wilhelm, a man whose life was intertwined with the forest. He lived a simple life, his days spent in the company of towering pines and the whispering wind. The forest was his sanctuary, a place where he found peace and solitude. But Wilhelm harbored a dark secret, a curse that ran in his bloodline. This curse was a burden he bore alone, a shadow that loomed over his every step. Under the blood-red glow of a lunar eclipse, Wilhelm would transform. The transformation was both painful and terrifying, a metamorphosis that stripped away his humanity. His humanity would be stripped away, replaced by a primal beast. This beast was driven by instincts and desires that Wilhelm could not control. Villagers whispered of encounters with the creature. These encounters were often brief, but left a lasting impression of fear and dread. They spoke of a massive wolf, its fur the color of midnight, its eyes burning like embers. This wolf was unlike any other, a creature of legend and nightmare. One winter, a series of livestock killings plagued the village. The villagers found their animals slaughtered, their bodies left in gruesome displays. Fear gripped the villagers whispering Wilhelm's name. They began to suspect that the woodsman was somehow connected to the killings. A group of villagers decided to confront Wilhelm. Fueled by fear and anger, they gathered torches and weapons, determined to put an end to the terror. They stormed his cabin, but Wilhelm was gone. The cabin was empty, save for the remnants of a life lived in isolation. That night, a blood moon hung heavy in the sky. Its eerie glow cast long shadows across the snow-covered ground. The villagers formed a hunting party and ventured into the forest. Their hearts pounded with a mix of fear and determination as they searched for the creature. Deep within the forest, they found him. The sight that met their eyes was both horrifying and tragic. Wilhelm, or rather, the creature he had become. He stood there, a monstrous figure, his eyes glowing with a feral intensity, standing over the mangled carcass of a deer, its jaws stained crimson. The scene was a stark reminder of the beast's savagery. The villagers froze in terror. They had come face to face with the legend, and it was more terrifying than they had ever imagined. The creature, sensing their presence, turned. Its movements were fluid and predatory, a stark contrast to the man Wilhelm once was. Its eyes, filled with a primal rage, met theirs. In that moment, the villagers saw the true horror of the curse. Some say the creature simply melted back into the forest. It vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving the villagers in stunned silence. Others whisper of a struggle, a desperate fight between man and beast. The details of this battle are lost to time, but the fear it inspired remains. The legend of the shadow of the wolf continues to haunt the Bavarian forest. It is a story that endures, a chilling reminder of the thin line between man and monster. The moon, both a source of light and shadow, continues to captivate and terrify us. Tonight, we've journeyed into the heart of lunar lore, exploring the myths and legends that have sprung up around the blood-red glow of a lunar eclipse. But these tales are more than just stories. They are reflections of our deepest fears, our primal anxieties about the darkness that dwells within us all. Remember, the next time you witness a lunar eclipse, beware of the shadows and the myths that come with it. Stay safe and sleep with one eye open.